Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. In today's tutorial guys, I'll have the review of the dynamic Halo tablet. As you can see here, this comes with the Aumi AI OS, and what's great about this tablet is that it has Android 15. As of the time of making this video, there might be an Android 16 that's out for tablets, but of course you get the latest operating system. This device actually comes with Android Go edition, meaning of course it is optimized for devices with less than 2 gigabytes of RAM, of course, and of course works quite fine. And I'll go through the review as I show you what are the advantages and disadvantages. Now, first of all, guys, with this tablet, you do get it in this particular box, this unassuming dynamic Halo box. As you can see, the Aumi OS there, that's indicated. It does have a lot of cool features that comes out of the box. You do get the adapter charge brick, and that's about it in the box. This particular tablet comes in at roughly under US $100, meaning you can get this on specials for a limited time deal, especially over this period for like roughly about maybe $60-70, and of course the prices do change. The tablet has Android 15, as I said, OS. It is a GMS certified tablet. It comes with 1.5 gigahertz 5-core processor, and of course that's 16 core. That's 3 plus 13. All right, that means that of course that some of those are probably virtual cores, and as you can see here, it comes with RAM, which is 32 gigabytes. And of course, the storage seems to be about 32 gigabytes. You can do an extendable storage of up to 1 terabyte of SD card. The display is HD at 1280 by 800 HD, and it's an IPS touch, a 5000 mAh battery. It comes with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.4, dual cameras, and of course, this is the latest tablet, or one of the latest versions of this tablet that you can get. Now, the 32 internal storage that's indicated there as RAM is just enough, as you can always extend via SD card. And of course, the core processors and the memory that's kind of written there is basically, it sounds a lot. However, you can see where it's actually using virtual cores as well as virtual memory, using a section of the storage as well. But of course, just the general outline. You can get this in black and you can get it in white. It's up to you. All right, so straight off the box, out of the box, the same thing that I would recommend is that you get a case. Now, there's no official case, but what I've found is if I get, for example, this Amazon tablet or Amazon Fire tablet case, I find that it works, and of course it will protect the tablet. However, the case will not work in terms of the cameras and the cutouts, so bear that in mind if you do decide to get the Fire tablet case as a substitute for a good case. There might be others out there, but I'm not sure, and that's the one I got. And of course, I recommend this highly as a kids tablet. It is very cheap and effective in terms of what you pay for, and of course, once you know the pros and the cons, you should be good. So let's store the device itself. All right, so first thing you'll notice at the back of the device, I call this the smiley face camera. As you can see here, there is a flash, but I think it's a flash, and 2 cameras. Now, of course, the arrangement does look like a smiley face, which is kind of unique and distinctive about this tablet. Now, another thing that we like here is the ports. So as you check them out here, guys, it does come with a Type-C port. So as you can see here on this side, you'll find the ports. Forgive me for a focus. I'll try to focus as best as possible. So here we have the USB-C type port, which is good as its newest standard. Then you have a memory card slot right here that is extendable up to 1 terabyte. So that does make up for the 32 gigs of internal storage. There is the volume up at the top here, followed by the volume down and power. Now, something I do not like here, and I'll show you on this side. So as you can see, you have the display, which is quite nice. However, when it comes here, you have the camera here, and right beside the camera you have volume up, volume down, and power. Now the thing is, instinctively, for some reason, I'm always pressing volume up as the power button, and the volume up and down is the first buttons, followed by the power. So one of the things is that outside of the box, you might be pressing the volume up, thinking it's power and thinking it's not working. So it's actually the third button here, that's the power. The system was nice enough with a plastic overlay that identifies the buttons, so it should be easy if you follow that overlay to identify the buttons. But it's quite easy to mix up the power buttons, especially when you're trying to turn on the display. You might be pressing volume up, thinking why it's not coming on, not realizing you're not pressing power. So that's just a warning to you guys, and this is one of the things I think here that the manufacturer should be aware of, that it's quite easy to be pressing, as seen here, volume up and wondering why it's not coming on when it simply requires the power button that's here. So placement is very important, so that might be something you have to look up in the future. All right, so one of the things you might get here is that as soon as you start up your device, make sure that you turn on the screen rotation, meaning make sure that your screen rotation here is turned on. The reason why I say screen rotation is because in this mode the tablet looks totally different. As you can see, this is what it looks like in portrait mode. There you go with the apps. But however, this is more of the traditional look that we are all used to. However, if I were to turn it to its side and I'll try to activate it, to look more like this outside of the box. Now of course in this mode it does look fine, and this is how it looks outside of the box with that screen rotation off, but it still looks good, but I rather the portrait look. So you can turn on screen rotation to get it to look like this. So this is what it looks like outside of the box, and you might be missing this key look as it looks so nice in this mode. However, to me it does look even better when you turn it according to this portrait mode. Now, who do I recommend this for? I recommend the Dynamic Halo tablet for kids, and the reason why I'm saying it for kids is that it's good enough to watch YouTube, it's good enough to watch your videos and do basic web browsing as well as online stuff such as shopping. However, I would not push it too much. It can do basic kid games just fine, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute as towards how it works. Let's start with a game here. You have Subway Surfers. So I'm going to start this up and show you a run of Subway Surfers for a few minutes. All the normal apps work, everything normally works, and of course the Android Go system is very robust. It's just a portable version or a quick version of the Android OS. Alright, so check out the game here. So we're gonna click play. Alright, so you can see it does run okay. It's not super fast, but it does work. So alright, so you get the idea here. It does run okay. Alright, so the game, 3D games work fine, and of course regular flat 2D games does work fine as well. And I find that any kids games that you load on will work fine, especially once they're loaded up and working. So the Google Suites are all here. There's also some AI based stuff that's built in, if you want to use them, that is. So the options are quite varied, and you do get a lot of cool stuff. Now of course, as you can check out here, I'll show you the specifications. So you can see the Aumi OS, and you can see the internal storage, the free space of the 32 gig. You can see the RAM here, it's just 3 gigabytes, but of course it gives additional 13 gigabytes of smart RAM, which is basically using the internal storage for RAM. So it's 3 gigabytes is the amount. It gives 5 processors, or a 5-core processor. You see the resolution, you see the screen size, you see the camera, and of course the main and the front camera, and of course you see the model number here. You can look at the specifications in terms of the model, and you can see that it is actually Android 15, and you can see the various information there. Now of course, overall, do I recommend this tablet? At the price, it cannot be beat. However, I would only recommend this for kids who you want to give them a starter tablet. 2, I recommend this for anyone who needs something just to web browse and do basic applications, and of course just basic stuff. Now 2, bear in mind that you do get what you pay for. It's not super fast, meaning I can't just simply swipe up super fast and tap super fast, meaning it will relatively go fast, but there's a slight, like a 2-3 seconds delay, and of course it's noticeable. For example, if I were to type something here, I'll show you what I mean. So let's say I'm gonna type in something here. Check it out, guys. So I'm gonna say the. So check it out on THE. So you realize it does take a little time to populate the screen. So like for example, if I were to type in the password, it does take a little while. Sometimes if I were to say type in a sequence of numbers, for example 1 2 3, on a very super fast device I can just stop it like this, 1 2 3, quick, in a second between each tap. However, on this I'd have to start 1, wait a little bit, at least 2-3 seconds, and 2 and 3. So you can't simply just rapid fire, especially when it's waking from sleep. But otherwise, that's the only con. The OS works perfectly, and of course you will have no issues as long as you're patient. So you do get what you pay for. If you're looking for a super fast device, this is not the device for you. However, if you're looking for something that's quite capable and of course let's get the job done, this is hard to beat at a price. But of course, guys, this is my review of the Dynamic Halo tablet. Do hope you enjoyed the tutorial and see you in the next one. I hope you learned something, as well as this as a choice. I'll put the link to this device below in the comment in the description section. You can actually check it out to buy it yourself. Ricardo Gardner from Blog Tech Tips, and until next time, bye.